She joins us. And Chriselda, what's happening right now?
Well, Francis, I'm really struggling to hear you at this point, but what I can tell you is that the students, the thousands of students that had gathered here since very early this morning have now dispersed, but they've vowed to return tomorrow and saying they will continue with the shutdown of the university until the Higher Education Minister, Nzimande, and government in its entirety reverse the decision to give university powers to decide how to hike the fees for the academic year 2017. It's quite calm at the university at the moment, but there's quite a lot of university security that is walking around the campus at this stage, obviously trying to ensure that scenes that we saw earlier, also including these doors that you see here that were also destroyed by irate students who were saying that they were not being allowed into the Solomon Mahlangu house when the security on campus had prevented them from doing so. But I think more importantly at this stage, Francis, is how the university plans to investigate allegations or the scenes rather that we did see when security guards threw stones at the students who were trying to enter Solomon Mahlangu house. What the students are saying is that they marched peacefully from the university's education campus and that plan to come and caucus here at Solomon Mahlangu to try and chart a way forward about what was the next step that they were going to make. But when they came to Solomon Mahlangu house, they were met with riot police and also met with security personnel from the university, and that's when we saw pandemonium. We saw a lot of rubber bullets. We also saw some tear gas, as well as some of the clashes between the police, the security, as well as the students. But the situation is extremely calm on campus at this stage.
Chriselda, that will hopefully be investigated, those very worrying scenes that we saw. But I understand Solomon Mahlangu House is pivotal. The students wanted to gather there. They said it was a democratic meeting place. Has Wits said whether they will open that area to students tomorrow at all?
If you could kindly repeat that, Francis.
Will Solomon Mahlangu House be open to the students tomorrow?
Well, it certainly seems so, Francis. At this point, what you have is just a few guards who are manning the entrance to Solomon Mahlangu House. Now, you must recall, after there'd been pandemonium and those chaotic scenes between the security personnel as well as the students and the police, they were then allowed into Solomon Mahlangu House, and that's when they took the decision, this is the latest, took the decision that they will come back very early tomorrow, and they say they will continue with the shutdown of the university. That meeting, of course, took place inside Solomon Mahlangu House after you had some of those scenes doused down slightly. So we're expecting Solomon Mahlangu House to be open for them tomorrow. There is not much of a police presence outside here at the moment, apart from a few security personnel. But what we can guarantee at this point is that these students are saying that they are not letting up. They'll be back here as early as 5:30 tomorrow morning, and they will continue with their demand, their unrelenting call for a 0% increase in fees in 2017 and beyond as well. So what they're promising is the scenes that we saw here today to continue tomorrow. And it's really interesting to see how the university management is going to be able to handle this at this stage, because the scenes that we certainly saw here at Wits University were unprecedented. The scenes that we saw during the last protests of the fees must fall, there was a sentiment of volatility, of violence, and a lot of aggression. But the scenes that we saw here today are certainly unprecedented. And how the university now perhaps plans to beef up security, perhaps to bring in more police officers, perhaps to bring in more security personnel, that could also agitate these students, Francis, because they have been saying all along they are unhappy with the fact that security and a strong police presence has been brought into their space. They were saying they feel intimidated. So really, how management, we understand who's in a meeting. We understand that the the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Tawana Kupe, we understand is in a meeting somewhere in Johannesburg. We're unable to confirm if it is strictly related to what took place at Wits University today, but certainly that is much of the speculation here this evening. What plans they plan to put in place tomorrow morning certainly remains to be seen.
All right, thank you very much. Chriselda Lewis, live for us from Wits University in Johannesburg. Meanwhile, there were protests on other campuses with roads leading to several universities barricaded earlier today.